Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Pigskin Panel. The boys are back in town for another week of football. Thank you for coming in and tuning in. As always, we always want to show our love and support for all of the Pigskin Panel family. However, today is another week. A week's gone by. And today, of course, I have my brothers always with me, Mr. Mike Sharp to the right of me, a.k.a. Dr. Evil. Then we have to the bottom right of me from the sunny state of Florida, representing the Miami Dolphins. We have Joe Braga, Mr. Bragino. And then below me here, we have Mr. Cody Flock Gang. And I know he's excited about this week, as I am too. I was part of the Flock Gang this weekend, that's for sure. My man, Cody McGuire, and I am AJ Lavender, and we're part of the Pigskin Panel. And for those that don't know what the Pigskin Panel is or who the hell we are just four best friends that love the game of football, and we always have some good banter, jokes behind the scenes. So we decided to make this podcast to show you exactly what we talk about in public. Still, some things are still kind of in our group chats that I don't think can be revealed, but we try to keep it at least a little honest and transparent with you guys. But my brothers, how are you guys feeling today?
Really good. Really good.
All good over here.
Me, I'm feeling great, man. Like I said, man, I'm pumped for this week, man. For myself, the Broncos, we go 2-0, and then Cody, your boys of the Flock Gang. I know my cousin TJ watches too. The boys came through for the AFC West. Ravens take down the Chiefs in an absolute heart thriller. Man, for some odd reason though, I was watching the game, and I have a feeling, man. Patrick Mahomes almost turned into Tom Brady, man, because it was like a minute left, and Patrick Mahomes still had the ball, and I'm like, "Oh, this game is not over yet." like this game is not over yet. But man, I just want to get the reaction from my boy Cody, man. How are you feeling? Because if anybody's not in touch with the Ravens or anything like that, they have been slaughtered with injuries. Like I cannot count. Was it 12 people in IR, Cody?
No, there's 15.
Even worse. See, there you go. And they were able to come in 15 people down, I think, on their running back 4 or running back 3 now. No really wide receivers other than the aging Sammy Watkins. And then, of course, a banged-up O-line, and come in and beat the Super Bowl favorited Kansas City Chiefs in just an absolute shocker thriller, man. But, Cody, man, let me hear your reaction. You're an analyst on the game. Do you think it was a Ravens win, or do you think it was more of a KC loss?
It was a surprising win. I think, Jack. I think that was our 4th time playing the Chiefs with Lamar, and that was the first time we won. We were down 24-35 at one point. We somehow pulled out the win. Definitely some help too, like you said. Like Mahomes had a minute left. Kind of figured they're gonna score, right? But CEH, I'm pretty sure it was, fumbled the ball, and then OA ended up getting Defensive Player of the Week. So it was a lot of people will point to Lamar as being the reason we won, but there was so many different people that contributed to that win, like OA, Marquise Brown too. I want to read you one sec. I want to read you Brown's last 10 games. Okay, so his last 10 games: 6 for 69 and a touchdown, 6 for 113 and a touchdown, 5 for 42 and 2 touchdowns, 7 for 98, 2 for 50 and a touchdown, 5 for 39 and a touchdown, 4 for 85 and a touchdown. Like, he's a pretty underrated wide receiver.
That's a nice little fantasy slot right there. If you guys are looking for anybody on the waiver wires, Marquise Brown, Mr. Hollywood.
Well, and then his playoff games, he went 7 for 109 and then 4 for 87. So he's definitely an underrated player. He's come on quite a bit. He's not very big, so it's hard for him to run every route, but he makes the most of it, and it's not easy to do that on a run-first team either, so props to him.
And that was the one thing I was really shocked about with Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs defense, man. You guys literally ran the ball on their head from the first snap. Like, they had no absolute answer for the run game, and it was shocking to see the amount of leeway they were getting. It felt like every time you guys rushed the ball, it was going for at least like 4 to 6 yards every carry, man. It was ridiculous.
Dude, I think Devontae Freeman had more yards in one rush than he did like the last 2 years combined.
Yeah.
There's a lot
He did look good.
mistakes,
That one rush, it kind of like turned back the time capsule there. He looked like Atlanta
Yeah.
Falcons, Devontae Freeman.
Yeah,
It was nice.
He'll blow his knee out.
Well, there was a lot of, it wasn't all good. There was a lot of big mistakes too. Like on that pick that Lamar threw, Sammy Watkins, if you go back and watch it, Sammy Watkins fell over on his route. That screwed up him and Lamar's timing, and then Lamar threw a pick. Now, he should have taken off and just ran. Of all quarterbacks, he's the one that shouldn't have thrown the ball and should have just ran or taken a sack. He threw a pick, which is dumb of him. But the same thing happened on Marquise Brown's touchdown. Mark Andrews was running. If you rewind and rewatch the game, Mark Andrews falls on his face right in the middle of his route. He sees Marquise Brown and hits him for a touchdown. So he made a mistake early in the game and kind of made the right decision later in the same circumstance. So that was nice to see.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know Joel usually is not the biggest Baltimore fan or Lamar fan, but I got to admit, too, before I let Joel speak on this, it seems like they're literally looking to have Lamar throw and almost break this notion that he can't be a quarterback to throw the ball, which I found kind of interesting, especially now you have a key player like Sammy Watkins, who's like your possession receiver with Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews. But Joel, man, I want to hear your input on it.
It was a good game by the Ravens. They played really, really well. There's not much else I could say about that. The Chiefs' defense is horrendous. They're absolutely terrible. There's no question about that. But the Ravens keep finding a way. They've been doing it. I never doubt that the Ravens are going to be good because they're always good. I'm not a big fan of running quarterbacks. That's basically what it boils down to. And I've never, other than that 1 year where he had a lot of touchdowns, and I've never seen him throw for a lot of yards, or anything like that. But this year he's been much better. It looks like he's been working on it a bit, and it's starting to pay off. Cody was spouting out Hollywood Brown's stats like they're so good, but he's always the one saying the Ravens haven't had a receiver in how long? So obviously they must be pretty decent over there in Baltimore.
The problem is more that he's the only one. Does Willie Snead even play on the Raiders? Has anyone even seen him this year? I think
he dropped a pass, and he dropped an easy pass. I think for the first down. Then he had like a nice little drag route that he got a first down with.
Didn't Snead lead the Ravens in receiving yards 1 year with Brown on the team, or was Brown out or something?
No, Brown was hurt for a little bit the 1 year.
Yeah,
I remember I had him on fantasy. It sucked.
Brown is I don't know. I just wanted to give a shout out to Brown because everybody talks about Lamar and stuff, and that's cool and stuff. But it wasn't just him that won the game. Like there was a lot of other factors as to why we beat the Chiefs. Like Lamar played well, but he made some bad mistakes too. Like that pick into triple coverage, that was really bad. The first pick, I don't really blame him too much for because, like I said, Sammy Watkins fell over, although he shouldn't have thrown the ball. But yeah, I like to see Oweh too. I didn't think he was going to be that good, to be honest. When we drafted him, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't super excited about it, but he's proved me wrong so far, which is fine by me. Hopefully he continues to do that. And yeah.
Yeah, and Cody's not wrong about not loving Oweh. If you guys don't realize, go back to, I think it's about the draft time videos. I think it was like episode 11 or something. Definitely go check it out because Cody was not thrilled. He came into the league as a guy that's made, I think it was 0 sacks in 3 years that he was with Penn State. Of course, it was a Micah Parsons kind of center defense, but still kind of crazy to see him now come into the league and within 2 weeks, back-to-back games, he had a sack, forced fumble, basically game-winning sack fumble. So it's great to see, the pick actually come to fruition because the guy's just an athletic freak. Like a hell of a pick, hopefully down the line, but great scouting report from your team.
I just wanted us to draft a lineman. That was the main reason I was disappointed in the Oweh pick. And you can see why I wanted us to draft a no lineman. If that Raiders game is any indication of how bad this line is or can be. Although they were a lot better against the Chiefs, which was promising.
Villanueva needs to retire or something. That guy stinks.
I didn't even know he was still in the league, man.
Oh, he's so bad now.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I know it was nice to see Ben Cleveland too. Like he didn't play the first game against the Raiders, the rookie, 3rd round, I think. So we'll see how the line does. But the fact that we can beat the Chiefs with 15 guys on IR, it's you got to be at least a little bit excited. I wasn't too optimistic going into the game, as you know. So, but we get to play the Lions this week You guys know what I think of the Lions, and hopefully we don't lose that game. So that will not be good if we lose to the Lions.
And then speaking of Lions, that segues right into our next segment. So if you guys didn't know, it was probably one of the biggest headliners is that a guy literally signed up for one of those sports bets apps, and then he was gifted a free $25. But with that $25, what he used was a 16-team parlay that was up to a winning of $766,000. The guy just chose random teams or whatever. Come Sunday night, he gets 15 of the 16 games, and the last game he needed to win $766,000 that he chose the Detroit Lions to beat the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field after an atrocious week 1. So we had Aaron Rodgers fired up because he threw 3 picks or some crazy stat like that. Aaron Jones, who has 6 yards, and the Devontae Adams, who was just terrible too. So that poor guy literally was not destined. However, the great news that we did find out with is that the sports bettor called him and he was able to make a deal before the match started. And he was still able to pocket $133,000. Which is absolutely crazy. So big shout out to him. All the bettors in the community on the Twitter, I guess, was going nuts for him. And everybody was in this corner for the Lions to win just because of him. But speaking of the Green Bay game, man, Aaron Rodgers looked like he's back. Aaron Jones, ridiculous. And Devontae Adams, too. They look like they might be back on the track. However, Green Bay's defense, you talk about Kansas City's defense, Joel. My Lord, the Green Bay's defense looked bad. Like
in the first half, they were awesome.
Yeah.
They didn't allow a point in the second half. The Green Bay's defense is, in my eyes, much better than the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs can't stop the run or the pass. If Lamar's throwing all over you, you got big problems. That Hollywood Brown touchdown, wide open. No, where is everybody? Like, what's going on? They're safe. They played with two that play. They had 2 safeties over the top. Where are you?
Yeah.
Gone. Like you just disappeared. Like you got abducted by an alien or something. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Even in the first half, like Rodgers was still like throwing brutal footballs. Like it's like you gotta do off-season workouts and preseason. Even if you're Aaron Rodgers, like you still need to get your timing back.
Exactly.
And I mean, it came together in the second half, but my God, was he throwing?
There was one play on the goal line, and I don't think I've seen Aaron Rodgers make this kind of pass.
Just to MVS.
It was wide open where it was just literally
behind him.
A breadbasket toss he usually makes, and it was about a foot behind him. Like I don't know if I've ever seen Aaron Rodgers miss a throw like that before.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers missed Valdez-Scantling on a deep ball, missed him by about 2 yards. So he overthrew him. Like he stretched out, but it just missed. And in the red zone, he chucked one to Adams and put it down by his feet. I was like, dude, you're not even giving the guy a chance.
Yeah,
but
and it's usually Rodgers looking at the players like, what the hell? Now the players are looking back at him like, what the hell?
What are you doing? And of course, in fantasy, I have Rodgers. Only need about 25 points, but he's got Aaron Jones. I'm like, okay, this is going to be reasonable. Absolutely. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. The one game he's got to blow up like that. Of course.
Yeah. However, Aaron Rodgers, as everybody knows, Aaron Jones, he usually comes out with Sombrero, green Sombrero. They must have took some shots of tequila because that second half, Aaron Rodgers came out and was slinging them. There was one pass to Robert Tonyan. Oh my good Lord! Literally, and I'm telling you, an inch. Like all the defender had to do was do this, and it was blocked. Like just in the breadbasket. Most ridiculous pass I think I've seen.
It was a laser too. He absolutely hucked it in there.
When I was watching, I had to double check. I'm like, oh man, did that just go through his hands? I looked, it was a touchdown. I was like, whoa. Absolutely crazy. But it's crazy to see, man, because Green Bay, it sucks because they lost to Darius Smith. I think it's for a full year too, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think it was for the full year. I think it was IR for a bit anyway.
Yeah, he's not on it's not season ending. He's just on IR.
Oh, it says a large because it's a lingering back issue. Jeez.
Probably be like
I could do
6
too.
weeks at the best, probably though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna delete this guy.
What?
No, there's some troll in the comment section.
Oh,
Oh, what's he saying? Is he being a cool guy or what?
Yeah, just being a super cool guy. He's blocked though, but anyways. Yeah, not safe for YouTube. Just put it that way.
Wow,
But
really?
yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But going towards that, the next segment, of course, we always had to wonder about our boy Mike Sharp, man. Mike Sharp, what are you drinking today, my brother?
all reliable, buddy. All reliable. Waiting for that sponsorship.
Oh, okay, the Busch Light sponsorship. All right.
Right here.
You got a little bit of lattes,
It's
And
coming, Sharp.
I'm joining you with a little Corona seltzer, a little passion
Oh,
fruit there.
They got a seltzer, do they?
Yeah, we're a little passionate about the Pigskin Panel. But one thing I do want to go towards is our hot takes of the week from last week's. Big shout out to my man Braden DeLima, who said Derrick Henry will have 200 all-purpose yards, and he had 237. Big shout out to Braden.
Yeah, wow.
Cody, your take for the Browns and the Texans did not pan out. Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod played, it would have been interesting because they were kicking their ass while Tyrod.
Sorry, it's not Tyrod. It's Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah,
we had to get it straight.
Right.
Yeah, it honestly sucks, man, because he looked like he was on to having a promising start to at least the season, and he just goes down in Tyrod, fashion, man. It's super unfortunate, man, because like he goes from the Bills, and then where did he go? The
Chargers.
The Chargers, and then he looked good for them. Then they got cut from there, and then now finally got like a home, a QB1 where he doesn't have to really compete with anybody. I don't think Davis Mills is going to be starting out the gate. So he had a chance to prove himself, looked good, and this good old injury bug catches again.
I'm pretty sure that didn't the staff put a needle through his chest or something like that?
We're at the Chargers?
Yeah.
I remember something like that.
Something weird like that.
But was that a myth or was that actually fact? Because I remember seeing that on.
I can't remember.
Staff needle. That would be the doctor accidentally punctured Tyrod's lung.
Yeah, that's what it was.
How do you do that?
Just sorry. Whoopsie.
That's nowhere near where it's supposed to go. My bad.
It's a good way to lose your job anyway.
Yeah. Where was that supposed to go in the beginning? Oh, the vein in your arm. Oh, whoops.
Yeah. It slipped.
Yeah. But just kind of give us another kind of just back check on what the week 2 kind of looked like. We had Thursday night kicked off the week 2, and it was just, again, like it feels like this year the games are just down to the wire, close games that are just like nail biting because that New York Giants and Washington football team squad was going at it, like absolutely at it. And the one thing that we talked about, and I kind of want to preface it in here, man, is the topic that we had on Saquon Barkley. Is he it? Is he not? Is he a bust? Is he Reggie Bush 2.0? What do you guys think?
I don't even think he's Reggie Bush at this point. Reggie Bush had a couple 1,000-yard years in Miami.
Yeah. And actually played a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I was saying in the group, like I've never thought that Saquon is a top running back. Like even in fantasy, he goes like top 5.
Yeah,
running backs
top 5, right after Dalvin or something.
Yeah, it's right around the 5-6 mark, and that's way too high for me for a guy who can't stay healthy. And I never, other than like a big run here and there, it's 3-yard runs, 4-yard runs. It's not like just like the game on Thursday night, he busted out like a 40-yard run and ended up with like 50 rushing yards.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem is where he plays too. So the media.
I was just gonna ask that. I was saying
the media wants him to be so good that they keep him in that tier, but it's like he hasn't proved it since his rookie year.
If you watch that game too, like the Giants O-line was a little bit better, but they have a really bad O-line too.
Yeah,
really bad.
But they like in the rookie year they had a bad O-line and he was unbelievable.
Yeah,
he's not that same guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that begs the question, man, is, how they always said, he's 100%. He's not. I don't even think he's even like 90% fully healthy, man. I literally think that he's playing like 75%.
Maybe.
And he's a victim to the team that he plays on. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things that you're a victim to the team that you play for. And the injury bug, like I think he's playing in front of an atrocious offensive line, and that he's like not even nowhere to be.
Well, he should
Saquon, in my opinion.
He should be faster than Chase Young. Like that play where Chase Young was running right beside him. Like Chase Young's a wild animal, but I mean, like you should be able to run faster.
Yeah,
you should be able to run a little bit faster than Chase Young.
I think the Giants' issue with that draft is I think they're trying to have one last like kick at the can with Eli. So let's get him a good weapon to open up the passing game for him. And then just look at it now, like their quarterback they drafted is not going to work out, in my opinion. And
look good on Thursday, though. Looked real nice on Thursday.
Yeah, but like he has good games, like he's going to, but more often than not, he sucks in a game, or he does not have a good enough game to win. And this is year 3 now for him. If it doesn't work out, like what are you supposed to do with him? You can't hang on to him like Eli.
Yeah, because at least Eli brought.
Yeah, I mean, Eli had a lot of bad years, but he kind of bought those bad years because of the Super Bowls.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. You can have bad years when you bring chips home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You like your chips with the dip, so you can stay around as long as you.
Well, that's the one thing. Like we talk about Lamar not hanging on to the ball. Daniel Jones is worse. So he doesn't have the leeway that Lamar does.
And he's clumsy on his 2 feet too.
Yeah,
he has 2 left feet when he runs.
You see those getaway sticks on him though on Thursday? Jeez Louise.
I've seen him have an open field and trip over his own feet before too.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
He's no Lamar. He's not Lamar that way, but he's got wheels on him.
Yeah.
He's one of the faster quarterbacks in the league.
I'm honestly surprised when we played them that we didn't have a QB spy on him, because he is, a tendency almost like a Josh Allen where he can take off type of thing. And I'm surprised that we played a little bit safe, like a little bit loose on him at that point. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know where the Giants go now, man. Like, I seriously don't, because you signed Kenny Galladay. Sterling Shepard looks like he's a better wide receiver than Kenny Galladay. So if anything, you're probably going to pay him upcoming pretty soon. And
I think Slayton's good too.
Yeah, and then you have you have Saquon coming up next year, and then actually, is it this year? This year,
next year probably. It's option. It'll be his option.
It'll be option. Then Daniel Jones's last year is next year too. So do you just go ahead and say, all right, we're on rebuilding phase part 2, get another quarterback and take a swing at it? They might be looking at a little bit of Oklahoma this year, but I don't know, man. I don't know. The Giants are in bad trouble, in my opinion, man. But big shout out to the Washington football team. Scary Terry's for real, absolutely for real. Even though I'm not an Ohio State fan, I just got to give Scary Terry his due diligence.
Hey, we produce NFL players, man. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, and that's the big news coming up too. I know our boy Braden, he's not on, but it is confirmed that Justin Fields is going to be starting over Andy Dalton. Speaking of Ohio State, the big U, Ohio State University, Justin Fields finally gets his reign. And who actually called that week 3? Because I think someone said that literally Andy Dalton had 2 games and it was going to be Justin Fields' season. As long as
I think I did, but I didn't mean like by injury. So yeah. I think Dalton would have still played, but
which is sad because Fields clearly gives you the best chance to win.
I know.
If you're a Bears fan,
I don't know. Like, I guess they're trying to justify the signing, but like at this point, who cares? Like,
it's about winning. It's about winning football games. If you're wrong, people make bad decisions all the time as GMs. It happens. You move on with your life and you try to win the next game. What did you see in Dallas last year that warrants a $10 million contract from Dalton? I don't really know what they were thinking.
Crazy
thing is about Dalton's money is he might be, other than the rookies, he might be the lowest paid starting quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
So you get him on a cheap, and maybe you get a few nice games out of him. But
I mean, Dallas signed him for $2 million, and the next year he gets 8 more after having like a bad year. It's just weird.
Yeah, that's starter money. Sadly, like the lowest end of starting money. Like,
and we had the cheapest quarterback in the league at $9 million. Well, it's technically $11 million with Teddy Bridgewater, but Carolina had to pay $2 million of that. So
there you go. Other than rookies, like I know Tua only makes like 6 or 7 for being a 5th overall pick. Joe Burrow probably makes more than Andy Dalton does, though.
Maybe, yeah.
First overall picks, they probably got to make 10 million or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, probably close to it. Let's see.
Because Tua's at 5 was the 5th overall pick, and I think he got like 6 or 7. So first has to get at least 10.
Let's look at Broadway Joe. Broadway Joe, he gets. Is that 610,000?
It's with everything.
His average annual salary is $9 million.
$9 million. There you go.
And then let's see with Trevor Lawrence.
Probably similar.
It's got to be something similar.
See, what's that?
Another Trevor Lawrence. The guy is off to like one of the worst starts as a first overall pick quarterback in a long, long time. Nobody talks about it though. Everybody wants to talk about teams that actually are competitive.
Yeah. Well, they also want to talk about Urban Meyer instead of Lawrence.
Yeah, that's true. The Jags.
Trevor Lawrence has the most turnovers right now in the league.
It's not even like it's a bad offense either. Like they got a decent weapons and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know their O-line very well, but I see James Robinson hasn't been able to get going. So
at all.
I don't think the O-line's either giving them the running lanes he needs, or they're just falling behind in games so early that they have to stop giving the ball to Robinson.
Because if you really look at it, man, their offensive, like their skill players and everything like that, they're pretty good if you really look at it. Like if you had James Robinson, 1,000-yard rusher, you had Trevor Lawrence, who's coming in as a generational quarterback, offensive line, but it's offensive line that produces a 1,000-yard rusher, so it can't be that terrible. Then you have Laviska Shenault, who's a good playmaker, DJ Shark, who's proven that he could be a monster, and you have Marvin Jones, who's in Detroit, was one of their number 1 wide receivers. So like on paper, it looks like all right, these guys should be able to do something, be a mid-tier team. But man, like off to 2 start, but I guess their defense doesn't help. But yeah, this is brutal. Trevor Lawrence throwing 5 picks is unexcusable too.
Yeah, it's bad. And Trevor Lawrence isn't used to losing games, so you wonder what's going through his head right now, right? I don't think he lost a game all through college, even high school too.
I think and junior. The stat, as I said last week too. I think he never lost a single game in a regular season game until he got to the NFL.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, the picks are bad, but like what I noticed of him in big games in college, he would throw picks. So I think the better the teams got, the worse stats he had, which you kind of expect. But with a guy like him, he should be able to make the jump a little bit better than this.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like he uses his legs as he did in college too, which I'm finding like he's literally just being a pure pocket passer. Where usually when you saw him at Clemson, he usually got out of the pocket, scramble a little bit, make those kind of like crazy passes and stuff like that. But you really don't see that right now. And I wonder if that's an Urban Meyer thing or if that's I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, it's just like it can be Urban Meyer, but you have to be a football player.
Yeah, but Urban Meyer also coached college, right? So it's not like he's bringing an NFL offense in here. It should be catered to Trevor, which I think he's trying to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But if they really want to get Trevor going, they got to find a way to get that run game going and do more play action, RPO kind of stuff. Because he's got the receivers to get it done. I think I seen a stat the other day. Laviska Shenault last Sunday ended up with negative passing yards. Is that true? 2 catches, -2 yards or something?
-2 yards, yeah.
Like, stop letting them run 1-yard routes, 2-yard routes, and let them get up the field a little bit. The guy was fine last year.
Yeah, I think we got I remember the play. I think it was a -5-yard bubble screen that we got him like right off the rip on.
Yeah, and it's you got to use guys in different ways too, not just little bubble screens and little short dinky routes. Like, let him you're trying to get him the ball so he can make a play. I understand that he's that kind of a guy, but you got to give him confidence somehow. Let him run a couple slants, throw a couple shots at him. I think Cody drafted him in fantasy, so he's probably begging for him to get some actual routes going.
Yeah, Cody, you were super big on LaVisca, weren't you? Coming out of college too.
He's a sick player.
I have him as like my wide receiver 4, and most of the leagues I have him in, so I haven't been too concerned about it because I won't be starting him. But he's a good player, and they just have to find ways to give him the ball. I know this week they play. Pretty sure the Jags play the Cardinals this week, so that is not going to be fun for them to keep up with the Cardinals. Kyler's going to absolutely destroy that defense. Hard to get the run game going and your play action going when you're getting killed every game, right? Like, they're going to be down multiple scores after 2 drives, almost guaranteed. Who's going to contain, like, Rondale Moore, DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray? Like, nobody on that team. So, I don't know.
And can we look at the flip side of that too? Like, Trevor Lawrence had a terrible time against the Jacksonville's, secondary. He had a tough time with trying to feed off Von Miller, and now he has to face Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt. Welcome to the league, Rook.
Which is exactly why they need to get that run game going. You don't want Trevor Lawrence sitting back there behind big early, and then he's got to throw, and then him take sacks. That's the last thing you want to do.
A lot of these rookie quarterbacks, though, these guys are going to bad teams. Like, that's why they're getting picked high. But I saw a rundown of a Zach Wilson. Like, don't get me wrong, Zach Wilson was horrendous in week 2. But I saw a rundown of one of the plays. So the one guy's getting beat on the far side.
Yeah, I seen that.
The guy down the middle is literally just clear. There's no one blocking him. Zach's sitting here like this. He's just a deer in the headlights, has zero chance of making anything out of this play. Like, it's like, I don't know. Yeah. What do you even do in these situations?
There was 2 jets staring at each other in the eyes, and one other jet was blocking another jet.
Yeah. You know what's bad? You got 12-year-old TikTokers making fun of the team.
Yeah, that was the video. And it was funny. Like, I was like, wow, that's ridiculous. Kind of.
And then Corey Davis can only jump 2 inches off the ground to try to bat that ball down. Like, what are you doing, dude?
What are you batting it for? Like, try to catch it.
It's gonna be a pick. Just bat it down or something, or try to catch it. But get up there. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for those 2 to succeed though. Like, the Jags are a really bad team. The Jets are even worse. Like, it's gonna be.
Well, that's what I said from the get-go. Like, Zach Wilson's gonna have a really rough year because that team sucks.
Yeah. Like.
And guess who they're facing week 3?
Yeah,
the Broncos secondary.
Oh yeah,
with Von Miller chasing them down. Oh,
dude, what a layup of a schedule for the Broncos. Jesus.
Yeah.
Let's play all the worst teams in the league. Okay, cool.
I was thinking it genuinely could be easier. Like, I mean, the Giants, I guess it could have. Like, they're okay, I guess, but like, it was. You gotta definitely win that game against the Jets. Like, you can't be losing that game.
Oh no,
there's some tough games coming up after that. Although Teddy's been unreal, man. Teddy, like, I've watched a lot of Broncos this year. I've been able to watch a lot of games because the Ravens have played at weird times, right, where they're not playing during the same time, and he's looked really good.
Man, Teddy has blown all the expectations. It is early, and it's against the Giants and the Jags, but just from looking at how the team surrounds him and the leadership that he has behind it, man, like, even like kind of like the off stuff things. I know a lot of people don't see it, but like, for instance, like when Jerry Jeudy went down, he moved KJ Hamler's locker right beside him to get that relationship building. Like, he's truly like a really good team guy, a really locker room guy. And then one of the biggest things too that really surprises, I sent this to the group, man, a lot of times it's steady Teddy, check downs, this and that. Teddy has the most attempted throws over 20 plus yards this season out of any quarterback. He is slinging the ball. So I think he was really out there to show that, I don't have just a noodle arm. I can actually make it out there. And he probably would have had more than 330 yards I guess there's 2 PIs, but there are PIs that didn't get called because Cortland Sutton was gone on like a 60-yard touchdown. And he got a PI that wasn't even called. And then I believe it was another one KJ Hamler that didn't call it either. So, if those PIs weren't there and it was like a clean, it would have been looking at almost like a 400-yard game last week. So,
and in week 1, KJ Hamler dropped a 40-yard touchdown. So
yeah. So it's crazy to see Teddy, and it's weird too because it's like Teddy's such a weird quarterback. He came into the league as a first rounder with Minnesota. He was on a Pro Bowl trajectory, and then he got injured. Right, goes to New Orleans, balls out, wins 5 games. Drew Brees comes back, gets basically booted out of town. Goes to Carolina, no CMC, hurt offensive line. You know what I mean? Just really didn't get the chance. So now coming with us, man, it feels like, with the weapons we have, he's able to finally get his chance, bearing any injuries. So, really big on the train. Still Drew Lock guy too. Still in the back corner. Still got love for my boy Drew. But all aboard on the Teddy Bridgewater train, man. And sky's the limit, man. So hopefully we can win this Jets game and then go into the Ravens game with Lamar and see where it goes from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love it. But one thing I do want to go towards, I know it's a little bit of Heartbreak Hotel, man, but Joel, what in the absolute hell happened with that Bills game?
Wow.
I don't hate it because they won me in my fantasy league. They gave me 39 points because of a shutout, but man.
Do I have to talk about it? Or?
Oh yeah. It's the open floor, baby.
Oh my God. Well, right from the get-go, Singletary busts through the line. We have probably one of the worst run defenses in the league. It's oh my God. It's so tough to watch, man. Like I hate even talking about it because it's borderline embarrassing. Devin Singletary busts right through the gap, right through the mouth of our defense. He takes it in for a 47-yard touchdown, and I'm sitting here going, oh, my God, man. This guy can't run against anybody, man. Like, an absolute nightmare. We get the ball. I'm like, okay, we're at home. Maybe something will happen, Tua looked a little bit hyped before the game. So I was like, okay, maybe, the energy's good there. Takes a snap. Left tackle blows his assignment, gets lit up. I'm like, oh, my God, we're in for one of these kind of days again, aren't we? Always against Buffalo. Always. Can't beat Buffalo. Can't do anything against Buffalo. Can't move the ball against Buffalo. Can't do anything against Buffalo. Can't do anything good. Next play, Tua, same thing. This time the right tackle doesn't – like he didn't even hear the snap count. But he's Rousseau is flying by him, and he's still sitting there like in his stand. I'm like, oh my God, man! Like this is like high school ball. Next drive, obviously we punt because fucking forget about it. We punt. They go down, score again. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not wrong, we get the ball back. First play, right tackle, sleeping again. Tua gets rocked. There goes his ribs. He's got fractured ribs. At the time, they said it was a bruise, but they did more reports, more scans and stuff like that, and found out he's got fractured ribs. Oof. So, yeah, the Dolphins are in big trouble.
How long is Tua going to be out for?
They say week to week. It depends on how he can deal with the pain.
With fractured ribs?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's
optimistic. To come back. He wanted. I don't know if you've seen the reports. He was trying to get back in that Buffalo game.
Guy is insane. Guy's crazy because he knows his job is on the line. That's why he's like, hey, I need every snap I could get.
Well, there's nobody there to take his job while he's there, and nobody in the league's going to touch Deshaun Watson right now. So who are you going to trade for? We're going to trade Denver for Drew Lock? I don't fucking think so. So
Drew Lock will be hosing it to Will Fuller.
You got Brissett? Brissett is your backup?
Yeah, and he's capable. Like it's not anything nice or anything, but he can get the job done. We'll see what can happen with the Dolphins, but if the O-line plays like that against the Raiders, we're in big trouble because who's leading the league in passing yards this year, boys? So far, that would be Derek Carr.
Oh yeah,
that would be Derek Carr.
My scary boy.
With Zay Jones over there and Darren Waller.
Hunter Renfrow.
And Hunter Renfrow and no Jacobs for pretty much a whole game. He played game 2, but he's all banged up. I don't even think he's playing this weekend. He didn't practice again today. So, I don't know what to say. The Raiders are gonna wax us if our O-line doesn't smarten up. And I know Flores was pissed in some of the comments and stuff he was talking about after the game. So he's talking about reevaluating everybody on the line and playing the third round pick Eichenberg. I don't know if he's gonna play. I don't know if he's gonna play left tackle, and they move Austin Jackson to who is a first round pick last year or 2 years ago. Austin Jackson, absolute loser. Fuck. Oh my God!
Eichenberg's pretty nice at Notre Dame, though.
Eichenberg's good. Actually, the highest graded Dolphin O lineman this week was a guy who's played one game, so that's fantastic. Yeah, it was just one of those. It was just one of those days. The Dolphins have one or two of these every single year. It's nothing I haven't seen before. It was honestly, I wrote in the group, this is the worst Dolphins game I have ever seen. And I watched them have an opportunity to make the playoffs last year and get absolutely embarrassed, like 45-10 against the Bills last game of the year. So, like, I've seen some real embarrassing stuff from the Dolphins the last few years. The way that we started 2019, people were thinking we weren't going to win a game. Tank for Tua, all that stuff. The last 2 years. The last 2 years have been really rough, and if things keep going the way they're going, like, we didn't play good against the Patriots. We squeaked out a win. I don't know how, but we didn't play that well there either. And the way that we played against the Bills was atrocious. I think the Hamilton Tiger Cats would have given us a solid go there. and like, I'm just being honest about it. We're in big trouble if we don't figure things out. Our defense is still solid. Xavier Howard, still a turnover machine.
Why he's got the money.
He's the only one who has a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and a pick so far this year. He's just off to the same old stuff that he always does. Byron Jones getting roasted on the outside by everybody and their dog, as per usual.
Mike's like, I could have told you that.
Yeah, I saw that a lot.
Oh my God, it just hurts to watch. But we'll see what happens against the Raiders. We're on the road against the Raiders. The Raiders are on the rise right now. Their defense is playing well. They have a pass rush. They don't really have a secondary too much, so I'm hoping that our receivers can keep that game close through beating on the corners and safeties a little bit there. But we don't stand much of a chance as of right now. I bet you betting favorites, Oakland probably +7, +8. Just absolutely rough stuff.
Can we just talk about Max Crosby? What a gem of a find he is. He's such a big gem that the guy they drafted 4th overall can't even see the field. Yeah, what's it, Cleveland Farrell or whatever?
Cleveland Farrell.
Yeah.
That's a Mike Mayock special. He loved that kid, and he stinks, dude.
Yeah,
he stinks.
He was healthy and active.
Yeah, the dude that the Ravens have that they just drafted is 5 times the player he is, and he's played 2 games.
Yeah,
2 games. Like, it's an absolute embarrassment what that guy has become. It's sad for the Raiders, but I know all about it. I'm a Dolphins fan. We got tons of bad first-round picks. Half of them are our best players. So,
the Raiders this week are 4-point favorites over the Fins.
I can't believe it's more. If Derek Carr gets confirmed to play Sunday, I'll bet you it goes to 7.
Same as Tua confirmed out too, maybe.
Yeah, Tua is confirmed out now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's out. He's out for sure. Jacoby's starting, but Derek Carr's got an ankle thing. He's been limited or questionable. So, but I know he's going to play. He's a warrior. I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to play though. He hasn't practiced yet. And he's all banged up. So they got Kenyon Drake.
Carr kind of doesn't have to play, but unless it's like he cannot play, he kind of has to go in there because Mariota's on IR too, so they don't even have a capable backup.
Oh, they got Nathan Peterman. I would love to play Nathan Peterman.
Is Aiden Howard might break the interception record?
God.
I don't think I'll ever
love to play
forget. I think I was eating wings with Cody, and we're just chilling at the Duke. And Nathan Peterman was starting for the Buffalo Bills, and my phone was going off. It was like interception by Nathan Peterman, interception, and it was to the point where I thought my phone, like the score, was like glitching.
Yeah.
And I had to go in and like refresh. It was like Nathan Peterman has now threw 5 interceptions. I was like,
it was against the Chargers, I think.
it was atrocious. I don't even know. See, that's just crazy, man. How does this dude have a job? Like, he has not been like good.
If you remember in their Hard Knocks, Gruden loves him.
Like a loser, man. Like, okay, well, like, he's in the NFL, so he's not a loser. But comparative to the group of talent that there is in the NFL, like, you're like XFL at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
if that.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, like absolutely terrible, man. But yeah, Mikey, man, your boys look good. Can we also say this? CeeDee Lamb is the truth and nothing but the truth. My God, that kid is for real. Like,
he's nice, man. He's real nice. And he was the last one of those receivers taken, was he not?
Yeah.
Should have been the first.
It was between the two. It was like Judy and then CD. We went back to back. So it would have been if we would have chose CD, it would have been Judy, CD, whatever.
Yeah.
But his speed after his catch.
Yeah. I like Judy more coming out of college. And boy, I love Judy's still sick and everything, but I mean, Jesus, Lamb is a target machine. His routes are clean.
Yeah.
His speed is nice.
Well,
He's got to sit beside Amari. He gets to watch Amari Cooper every day in practice running those nice routes, right? Got to be just like your big bro. So
no one talks about his footwork enough. Like, he's got great footwork.
Fantastic, man.
You're learning from Cooper. That's going to really help.
Yeah,
I mean, it's helped Gallup. Like, it's helped everyone.
Yeah, Cooper's a different animal with the route running.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's just like naturally gifted.
Yeah, you had the upper echelons of route runners. Like, I'd put like Amari Cooper, Judy, and like Keenan Allen as your top 3.
Yeah,
Devontae Adams is good too.
Yeah, their feet work is just ridiculous. Like, if you actually like look at it, it's like,
oh yeah,
what?
Yeah,
yeah. Like, for the first time in a while, our defense actually looked awesome.
How about Parsons off the edge, Sharp?
He had 1 week at edge rusher, and he had 8 QB pressures.
And a sack.
Tied for first in the NFL, and that's his first time ever playing that with a week practice. The guy's a freak.
Yeah. Are you guys going to be in that position where it's like, oh shit, we have an edge rusher now, not a linebacker?
No, he's playing linebacker. He's playing that Devin White linebacker where he'll rush the passer still, but I mean, we had to. Like, who else are we going to play? Both of our starting edge rushers are out. Well, Gregory, because of the COVID list or whatever, I think he's back. I think he's back this week, so they might put Parsons back, which I hope.
Yeah, because I think with the new rules is like it has to be 7 days, or if you get a negative or something like that, then you're fine or something.
Because Keanu O'Neal is now on the COVID list, so we're going to have to put him back to linebacker. But I mean,
are these dudes not vaccinated?
I don't know. Like, I don't think it's just contact with family members that have had contact with it, so you have to go on it.
Gotcha.
But like as a whole, they played awesome. Like, our double-headed running attack looked really good. That's the way we got to move forward with it, because I know Zeke's really valuable in certain aspects of the game. He's not rushing the ball like he used to, but if you watch him in passing downs, he can chop block anyone. He blocks really well.
Yeah,
he's still good in the pass game, catching the ball. Yeah. But Tony Pollard, my God, that guy's got speed
for days.
Yeah, and like, he's starting to break tackles more. Like, if you can go 15 carries each with them in a game, I think that's going to help your offense, and it's going to keep both running backs fresh
and healthy.
And healthy.
Zeke might be the best pass blocking running back in the league, honestly.
Oh yeah.
The guy is spotless as
Like
a
anybody
as a
that gets
blocker.
open in the backfield, he's got him every time.
Yeah. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Man, it was such a fun week, man. I could be fans for all my friends' teams this week. Like, and then the next week, this week I could be a Miami Dolphins fan. Like, it's just a great feeling.
I'm barely hanging on here.
We need the Dolphins to come through.
Oh my god, man.
No, it's gonna be a good week, man. I want to see here, like, what do we have for interesting matchups? So we have, we have the Carolina and Houston that's coming up tomorrow. We have Green Bay versus San Fran.
Which is going to be a barn burner of a game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think George Kittle might just roast and toast.
Yeah,
he's been quiet so far.
Yeah,
like TJ Hawkinson
exposed. Beast. He's a beast, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely exposed the linebackers of the Green Bay Packers. Then we have the Falcons and Giants. That should be meh. Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh.
Meh.
Big
Ben's hurt, I think, right now, isn't he?
I saw that. I did see that Big Ben is hurt, or they're saying he's banged up, so he's questionable day to day.
Already, eh?
Yep, and it starts.
Haskins.
Duck. We need Duck.
Oh, God. I don't think anyone ever needs him.
We have the football team versus the Bills. Now that could be a battle of just defenses, man. That could be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, go Bills.
No.
Yes.
Go Washington.
No.
Yeah, football team. Come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of the football team, they have came down to I guess 4 names. They've come down with the Washington Football Brigade. They got the Red Hogs, the Red Wolves, and then Armada.
Those are the worst ones.
God.
Yeah, and they also have logos for all 4, and they look like they came out of Madden 2006 Create a Team.
Like, what are they doing?
Think Sports Center.
The Red Hogs. What the hell does that even mean? Like, why don't you just say warthogs or hogs? Why do you have to put red in front of it?
Because they have to go with the whole scheme, you know?
Yeah, just go warthogs then. Still make it red. Dumb. Them is red wolves. I don't think there is a red wolf. I think wolves are just like dark.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see it. Okay, I don't know why I could just post it on here.
They didn't look too clean though.
Well, they're on the helmets.
All right, so what we got here? Let's add this right here. Oops.
They should just stick with Washington football team, man.
Man, it caught on to me, man. I like it. Like I love football team.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so what we got here?
Oh my god. Those are so basic, man. It does look like Create a Team.
That does not look like a wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coolest. The Red Wolves.
They just took a red helmet and just copy and pasted
the Red Hogs.
See that logo's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wolf looks like a hyena.
Armada. Armada's a dope name, but like in the logos, it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, out of the 4, I guess I would rather Armada.
It's getting covered up by the chin strap buckle.
Yeah.
There.
The cool thing about like the Wolves too, like every time you score a touchdown, the whole stadium would just go like, "Oh, that'd be pretty dope."
Yeah.
Or something
That would be what I would vote for out of all of those, probably.
Yeah. But,
what would you vote? What would you vote for?
I don't know, man. I honestly love the Red Tails. I think the Red Tails was the dopest one that they had.
That's what I was saying.
Because they're Washington, They had the World War II fighter jets that never lost a single plane in battle. Like that is dope.
Yeah.
But no, they go with the freaking brigade. Like who even thought of that? The brigade. Cool. Yeah. Trade me if that Scary Terry should have put in his trade request that I ever named that team that.
Yeah.
Like get me the hell out of here. But if I had to choose out of all of them, just to encompass like the whole atmosphere, it'd probably be the Red Wolves. Like I said, you just have so much like fun with it type of thing.
Yeah.
What about you, Cody? Who would you choose? What out of the four would you choose?
I like the name Armada. The logo I liked the most was the hog. That's probably. But I mean, if it was up to me, I'd just keep it football team. It looks completely fine, and it's a cool enough name. Like I don't get why they're even changing it, to be honest.
Yeah. Like football team is dope. It's like, and then people like I remember before it was like people like, oh, it's such a basic name. Like you have the Cleveland Browns. Like I don't know if you can get more basic than that. Like football team is at least pretty, it's catchy, and it's like WTF, but it's WFT.
I forgot to mention one more shout out for the Cowboys. Terrence Steele, the right tackle, put Bosa in his pocket that game. Everyone but pregame said Bosa's just going to eat this guy up because Collins is suspended right now. So we got to patchwork our right tackle. This guy was undrafted last year. Awful last year. They're saying he's improved a lot this year. Whatever, okay. Watching the game, okay, yes, he has improved quite a bit. Like for Bosa to have, I think it was 3 QB pressures maybe. And then nothing else.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super solid, man. Yeah, at least you guys can get hits on, undrafted ones. Like we had Elijah Wilkerson as an undrafted starting right tackle.
Yeah, he's good.
Man, it's so funny. I remember when so Braden texted me. He's like, "Yo, bro, we just claimed a right tackle off you guys." I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "Elijah Wilkerson." I'm like, "Oh, oh."
Good luck.
He's like, "Is he any good?" No.
I'm gonna give you the short answer. No.
Absolutely not.
That's what I was saying in the group today too about the Cowboys is they draft really well.
Yeah.
Oh,
like, tremendously well. And they look at them, they're banged up right now too in a lot of spots, and they just plug and play. Like Wilson, the wide receiver that's filling in for Gallup, just steps right in and does a hell of a job. And you're this guy looks like if I had to guess, I had never really heard of him prior. I would guess he's like the kick returner or a special teams guy or something like that.
Yeah.
And he just steps right in, knows all the routes, does a great job, makes a couple big catches, couple first downs, and you're like, oh, okay, exactly what Gallup was going to do for you.
Yep. Yeah. Same with tight end too. Blake Jarwin, just like Schultz. Like it's like they just like if one goes down, next man up, and our next man up is just as good. Like
yep.
Yeah, even
except for cornerbacks.
Yeah. Except for the Cowboys secondary.
Yeah.
But like
Diggs looks really good. It's just beyond that is poopy.
Yeah. Like even like Sharp was saying, the right tackle, it's just plug and play. Collins out. There you go.
Yeah.
And the left tackle's back, the Pro Bowler, the Smith, Tyron Smith.
He's looking good.
Yeah, he looked fine. Looked good from what I saw.
See if he can go a full season, though. That's the issue.
Yeah. Big boy, though, man. Jesus, he takes up a lot of ground.
Can't get around him, at all. He's too athletic and too big.
Yes.
You got to go through his legs. It's the only way.
Yeah. There's no way of moving him. I think he's 6'8". You're not moving him.
I'd love to see him
with good
and
feet.
Donald go at it.
Yeah. Dude, when he had that elbow issue, he had a knee brace on his arm because the elbow brace couldn't fit. That's just insane. Ridiculous.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, I'd love to see him and Donald go after it because man, watching Donald and
that was last week. Yeah, Quentin Nelson and
Quentin Nelson going at it was this dope to see. Like you're watching football, you're watching a freaking nose tackle and an offensive lineman go at it, and that's the exciting play of the whole game.
Did Donald have a sack?
I don't think so.
I don't know
both of Wentz's ankles are toast, so he might have got him on one.
He sprained his ankle, both of them, on the same play. How do you do that unless you're made out of paper mache?
Yeah, he's definitely not playing. They just want to make the other team have to think about Wentz for a little bit. But it's probably going to be that Eason kid, right, from last year. They got drafted.
Yeah. Easton Stick.
Like
You're named after someone that a hockey player uses.
see. Oh, and Darrell Henderson was hurt that game too.
Yeah, he's got a hip thing, right?
Yeah, it was
Who's their backup?
he left the game with a rib injury.
Sonny Michel.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Sonny boy.
Oh, no.
Donald versus Wentz. Let's see how that happened. Yeah, injury. Carson Wentz suffers an injury when defensive lineman Aaron Donald wrapped him up.
Yeah, it had to have been, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not good. That's the last person you want to see wrapping you up and you get hurt with it, because that just means you get hurt. Like, you just don't get hurt.
So, boys, what's your prediction for tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night we have Davis Mills versus Carolina, and Carolina looks really good right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I might say, I'm going to say 27-14 for Panthers.
You think Houston's going to get 14 points?
I think Brandon Cooks is super underrated this year.
Yeah.
Even with.
He was solid last year too, but he had Watson.
Yeah.
And I still think they have a solid running game with Philip Lindsay, Mark Ingram, and David Johnson having a three-headed running back, being able to open up a little bit for Brandon Cooks and whoever else is the wide receiver core on that. So I think they might be putting up a couple scores, and then Carolina's going to steamroll them after that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be like 31-10 Panthers.
That's what I'm thinking too. 28-10.
Just like the Panthers are going to just annihilate them on offense.
Yeah, I think so.
Cody, are we going to hear a hot take? Cody?
No.
We're going to hear
Not with David Mills.
It's going to be probably like 34-10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it won't even be close, probably. The only thing you could really give the Texans is they played really well week one, but, I mean, it's against the Jags, and it was with a different quarterback. Like, there's no reason to think they'll play well or even put up any points.
Yeah.
I could see them putting up even less than 10 points, honestly, like even maybe one touchdown somehow. I don't know. Like, the Panthers have a good defense too, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't see any scenario.
I could see even 9, 3 field goals or something like that. I don't know if Houston's going to be able to get in the end zone.
Yeah, and I'm not – let's see here. I don't know if it's at home or away.
So it is –
I think it's in
Houston, so
it's in Houston.
If it was in Carolina, it'd probably be even worse. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Davis Mills went 8 for 18 for 102 yards and a touchdown last game, and 1/2 basically. So I mean, less than 50%.
Doesn't Darnold have like the worst numbers on in primetime games?
I think Kirk Cousins did.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins was.
He improved it recently, but he was awful.
But man, big shout out to Sam Darnold, man. Like,
yeah, big time.
Big shout out to Sam Darnold, man. Showing out.
Looks good.
And you know what's crazy? Both Carolina and the Broncos moved on from quarterbacks, and they got the kind of the replacements each other, and both of them are playing great. How crazy is that?
That is crazy. But we didn't really think Teddy was going to win the job. At least I know I didn't. I thought Buck was going to win the job, but good on Teddy for that. But we all knew Sam Darnold had talent.
Yeah. I thought I didn't think he would look better this year, and he has so far.
Yeah, for sure. The Jets, you go to the Jets to die. It's been that way for a long time.
Yeah, like hopefully Saleh turns it around, but then again, who knows? Like they've had good coaches there too.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Carolina was able to trade Teddy too. They have PJ Walker behind him, who is a good player. Like he's one of the, I would say, if anything, one of the better backups in the NFL. So.
Yeah, but he's never really played in the NFL, PJ Walker. He was just like an XFL standout.
And he had 3 games last year or something like that.
Yeah.
he played a couple games. I'd rather him than at least 3/4 of the backups in NFL.
Oh yeah, like a lot of the backups are pretty bad.
Mike Glennon.
The neck.
The giraffe. That guy sucks.
I remember watching Oakland Hard Knocks, and that Frank Caliendo guy went in there. The guy who pretends to be John Gruden, does the impersonation.
Yeah.
And he walks in there, and he's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing there, neck?" And it points the camera over, and it's Glennon.
Okay, really reasonable.
The whole room's just dying, right?
I would assume that's got to be his nickname of some sort. Like
Mm-hmm.
he looks like his neck is elongated.
Oh yeah, it got stretched out like an accordion.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that's what we call our boy.
It's weird.
Let's just start calling our boy Sampiage that Mike Glennon.
Oh yes.
But the two interesting games I think this week is going to be the Tampa Bay versus LA Rams.
Nice. I hope that's at 4.
It's at 4:25.
Perfect.
But your Dolphins are at 4:05, man. You got to watch your
Oh,
Dolphins.
I'm not watching that.
That'll be a flip back and forth.
I got enough gray hair, man.
And another surprising one, that's a 1:00 game, even though it's a division game. It's the LA Chargers versus KC Chiefs. I think that's going to be a real good game too.
Yeah.
Chargers need to bounce back.
God, I hope the Chargers beat them.
Chiefs need to bounce back.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that
defense was brutal. One of the worst defensive performances I've seen in a long time.
As a fantasy owner, this is where I hope Herbert just goes off on this defense.
Yeah.
Because he's been good. He just hasn't been throwing touchdowns.
Yeah. He'll get going.
Yeah.
And then for me as an AFC West fan, I'm definitely going for the Chargers because there is one thing that's guaranteed in life is death, taxes, and the Denver Broncos beats the Chargers every single time. So if the Chiefs can go back-to-back 2 losses and one being a division game, I am all for it.
That would be
all for it. Man, especially if we win against the Jets and then somehow the Dolphins beat the Raiders, we'd be number 1 in the AFC West, baby. Let's go.
Don't count on it.
It'll be short-lived.
Should I put a parlay bet on that?
No.
$25?
No.
Absolutely not.
And another big shout out, man. Philadelphia Eagles, our boy Jalen Hurts, man. Keep on going, man. Like, I love it, man. After everybody dissed him, man, he's showing up that guess what, man? I could play with the best of them. So big shout out. I know, Mike, you hate him, but man.
Not Monday. He's gonna suck Monday.
Yeah, because he faced Dallas, but
like I know Mac Jones just started his career and Tua just started his career, but to me, Jalen Hurts looks like the best one out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's early, but that's just me.
Tua has the best talent.
And he's smart.
Tua has the most talent.
Tua has the most talent, yeah.
Putting it together.
He hasn't shown it.
No, not yet. Well, a little bit, just not consistently.
Yeah, in spurts, a couple times a game. That's it. But Jalen Hurts is money running the ball. The RPO and play action game in Philadelphia is absolutely money because Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is similar in ways to Deshaun Watson, to Lamar Jackson, because he has trouble throwing the ball too at times, Jalen Hurts, but it's going to come along just like it has looked like so far with Lamar Jackson. And, we'll see what happens there. But so far, Jalen Hurts looks good to me.
Looking at them, it's going to be too bad for the Eagles this year because if Hurts has a good year, their defense is not good enough.
Well, they just lost Brandon Graham for the year. I think he tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's a big part of the D.
That's a huge loss. That's a massive loss. So
they do have Darius Slay, but Darius Slay really hasn't been the guy that he was in Detroit since he's been there.
Dropped off big time.
He's the only corner that they have that can actually cover a top guy, though. Like if he goes down 2, then the Eagles are absolutely fucked.
That's what I mean. It's going to be all for naught because the Eagles aren't good enough as a whole compared to Dallas and Washington, right?
Right.
So they're going to be the outside looking in, unfortunately, if he continues Hurts. But we'll have to see him in a full season.
Hurts is going to have to carry them a bit for sure.
Yeah, which is tough on a sophomore QB.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Jalen Hurts might be the most surprising talent to come out that no one's talking about. You know what I mean?
It all depends on leadership too. Look at Dak in their rookie year. He had to jump in as being a 4th-round pick, did well, and he's continued to improve. But it's just he's got a good mentality behind him. If Jalen Hurts is like that, it might help him.
He is like that. Have you seen some of his quotes where he's just like nothing's promised in life. I'm here to work and I'm going to be the hardest worker in the room and all that kind of stuff. How can you hate that stuff? As a player, you're like, I want to get behind that guy. I want to fight for that guy.
It's a weird take, but I almost prefer quarterbacks taken later because they always have that I need to prove something mentality rather than the first overall pick where it's like they're handed everything. Those guys seem to fizzle out more than the later round picks, right? Look at Russ, Dak, Jalen Hurts right now. Yeah. A lot of these later round picks are doing better than first overall picks.
Yep. That's true. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, it's almost like like you said, it's about the players getting around. It's almost like what's his name? The coach for the Lions, man. It's like people just love him. Like the team just loves that guy.
Campbell.
Yeah. This people just love that psychopath.
Guy. You want to fight for those guys though. Like any of those coaches that are like him. Even when you seen him, they were losing big to the Packers, and he's still out there clapping for the guys when they make a play. That's the kind of you got. That's
the positive. That's the positive clapping, not the Jason Garrett clapping.
Yeah.
Cool, Jason Garrett.
Good job, guys. No, we went 3 and out, you moron. Stop clapping.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. And now to wrap it up, fellas, what we're gonna do? I think doing the hot takes, man. I honestly like the hot takes, and I said hot takes because that's
hot take takes.
Hot take takes. Hot cake takes. Brought to you by Extraordinarily Average and Spartan Financial. There it is. That's a shameless plug. But I'll go first, man. My hot take is that Justin Fields on his starting debut is going to go for 300 yards to win with 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
Going to beat the Browns?
Yeah, and beat the Browns.
Wow.
Allen Robinson is going to have a bounce back game too because he's having a slow start. He's going to have two touchdowns with 100 yards. Let's just put 100 yards. Let's go there.
Okay.
Justin Fields is my week 3 lock.
I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Steelers. Led by Burrow and Joe Mixon.
Okay.
Wow. Mixon's going 150.
What's Joe Mixon's stat line?
He's going 150 all-purpose, 2 touchdowns.
Oh, geez, Louise. That could happen. That definitely could happen. My hot take, I'm gonna go with the Rams to beat the Buccaneers with a late field goal.
Oh, Matty Pat the stats throwing some bombs that game or what?
Oh, you best believe it. Robert Woods is gonna go off, I think.
I hope so because he's been my wide receiver number 1. It's been Cooper Kupp season.
Oh yeah.
Cooper Kupp's going to get some attention. Tyler Higbee or Robert Woods, those are the guys that are going to eat.
I love it. That's my boy too, Matty Pat the stats. I'm so glad he's out of Lions. Man, I loved him coming out of Georgia and then went to the Lions. I was like, my Lord, the worst franchise he could have went to.
Yeah.
Jeez. But Cody, what about you?
For player pick of the week, I'm going to go with I think Calvin Ridley will have 150 yards against the Giants, maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns.
Against Bradbury?
Yeah. McLaurin was definitely bullying him last week, and I know that the Falcons are going to try and put up some points. I saw some quotes from them really, like Matt Ryan was saying today, like despite starting 0-2, like he really believes that the team is a playoff team. I think he'll try and make a point of showing people that – I'm not saying I think they are, but I think he's going to try and make a point of it, like have a big day. So I think Calvin Ridley is going to have a really good game. And then my team of the week, I'm going to actually pick. They're really awful, but I'm going to pick the Jags to win at home against the Cardinals.
Woo!
They're not going to go 0-16. They're actually only 7.5 point favorites. They're only 7.5 point favorites, the Cardinals, which is kind of weird. You'd think they'd be way higher than that. Plus, DeAndre Hopkins is kind of banged up right now.
Earlier on in the show, you said Kyler Murray was going to absolutely torch him.
I think he is, but
it's a hot take, baby.
Once I'm looking at the numbers, like I didn't think
it's going to be a shootout.
Trevor Lawrence, big
Browns,
day.
But I don't know. I like to go hot with the takes. I don't want to pick something.
I like it.
Oh, that's habanero hot.
They're not going to go. Like, think about it. They're not going to go 0-17.
Yeah.
It's pretty difficult to do that, so they got to win sooner or later.
Well, it's difficult to do 0-16, let alone 0-17.
And to back your point, last year the Cardinals were unbelievable for the first little bit, and then they lost like what, 4 of their last 6 or something like that, and missed the playoffs last year.
And is MVP Kyler going to get to his head? You know,
it might pressure. It might. Maybe that's not such a hot take after all. You never know.
Yeah, I think. I think Calvin Ridley is going to have a huge game against the Giants, and that's my player pick too.
It's definitely possible.
And that is a fantasy pick. There we go.
There you go.
I know mine is a fantasy pick too because, man, I need Allen Robinson to come back because he is looking tough right now. Holy moly. Other than that, what's that?
I seen Mooney's getting a lot of touches, a lot of reps.
He's been getting a lot of those who?
Robinson last game?
Yeah, it was like a 4-yard touchdown.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Mooney, because he's been getting those, because Mooney's fast as hell, man. Like he began those like just those either slants or those bubble screens and just taking off.
Just quick passes for Dalton.
Yeah. It's Andy Dalton too. So hopefully David Montgomery, Allen Robinson has a huge game. They're both my players, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna be competitive. Kind of biased, but I'll take it. But other than that, guys, this has been another episode going into week 3. Week 2 is over. Gonna keep it rolling. And other than that, do you guys want to give the fans some last standing words before we log off? Mr. Mike Sharp?
I got nothing. Let's just have a fun week here.
Have a fun week. I'm down with that too. Mr. Braghino?
No quarterback injuries week 3. Yes. Right? I don't want to see anybody's teams go through what we've had to go through, some of us over here, all right? No quarterback injuries. Let's keep it clean and let's keep going.
I went through it last year, not this year, okay?
Yeah.
And Cody?
Nothing this week, but next week will be an interesting one because I believe the Ravens play the Broncos, so that'll be
week 4 is on. We as Skip and Shannon, we might have to put some dew on that.
Definitely.
And as always, we just want to give our love and support to all of our people that come out, check us out on YouTube, live during the show, put in your comments, other than that rude guy that put in the comments beforehand. But yeah, guys, we love you guys so much, and keep on rock with us throughout the whole year. We do have 17 games this year, which is going to be awesome in the 2021 season. So can't wait to see how it all unfolds, what's going to be breaking down in week 3. So definitely check us out next Wednesdays. As that's what we're going to change it up to. We're going to do it the day before the week starts to kind of give more of a take in general for the past week and then the week upcoming the day before it starts. So other than that, guys, I hope you have a wonderful night. Catch you guys next Mondays. And as always, go Broncos, go. Deuces.
As always.